2024 can be an incredible year where God can do amazing things in your life. Hello, friend. I love January 1st, the fresh start to a new year. I love goals. I don't know if you set New Year's goals. Some people hate them. I'm obsessed with them. But you and I don't want to hit some random goals. We want to hit God-honoring goals, and there's a distinct difference. And today we're going to discuss how to do that. Today we're going to discuss how to do that. So let's dive in. Number one, we need to look at our goals through the lens of Scripture. Honestly, we can set goals that do not align with Scripture, and it will not lead you in a good place, and it's not a God-honoring thing. So when you're setting the goals, look through Scripture. What does it have to say about what you're going to do? Number two, pray and ask and listen. Before you set your goals, before you have these great ideas of things you're going to accomplish for this next year, check in with Him. Ask God, what do you have for me this next year? What do you want me to focus on? And then listen. See, we can fall into a trap where we can pray to God, but we already have our mind made up. God just shut the door, and I'm moving forward, right? Don't do that. Pray and ask with actual open hand. And He'll be faithful to tell you what He wants you to do this next year. Number three. This is a toughie. Check your motives. Check your motives. Who are your goals for? Are they actually to honor God? Or are they for you? Man, I have failed at this a lot. I had financial goals that were just to get me more money. Or I was trying to climb a ladder at work where I wanted that. And it was for me. And we really need to be aware of our motives and why we're setting goals in the first place. I want to be honest with you, though. It's never going to be 100%. Our flesh is going to get involved in it somehow, some way. It's our sinful nature that's in there. So don't stress out when it's like, well, I think this is where God has for me, but it does serve me a little bit. That's okay. Don't try to go for 100, but really check your motives to begin with. Number four, make sure your goals are in your wiring and in your makeup. See, God wired you and knit you in your mother's womb, it says. He has good plans for you. Make sure that it's in your wiring. See, we want to be good stewards of how God has made us. We don't want to try to copycat, try to be something else. Be a steward of your talents, your abilities, and your wiring. And that honors God. Make the goals SMART goals. I don't mean intelligent. It stands for something. So, SMART, the S, be specific. See, if my goal was, I'm going to love more this next year, it's not really a goal. That's an aspiration. It's a good thing, but it's not really specific. M, make it measurable. Make sure it's something that you can measure. So, this last few months, I've been trying to get healthier, but that wasn't my goal. My goal was one that was measurable. It was a weight number. So with your goal, how can you make it measurable? How can you make it measurable? The A, is it attainable? Is it something you can actually attain? Or is it an aspiration? Again, aspirations are not bad, but is it something you can actually attain? The R, realistic. I'm a dreamer. I know God is a miracle worker. He can do things beyond our imagination. This is not limiting God. When you're setting goals, are they realistic? Is it something that you can really achieve? Make it a measurable thing that's attainable, that's realistic. All right, the T, time. Put a time to it. See, if it's, I'm going to be 175 pounds someday, I'm giving myself a long window. Sometimes with my goals, I would love a much longer window. But make the time, period. What is it going to be? Is it for the whole year? Is it a goal for the first 3 months? What is it? Is it timely? All right, the last one. Make sure that your goals stretch you and they don't break you. Here's what I mean by that. You need margin in place. You need to live in priority. It goes God, our marriage, our kids, and then other things below that. Make sure with your goals, when you're setting them, you can still leave these things in place. You want to be like a rubber band that stretches, that goes a little further, a little more, and that's constantly. Just God, a little more. We want more of God today than we did yesterday. We want to be transformed by Him more today than we were yesterday. That should be the life call of our life. But we don't want to go so far that we're like, I've done this before. I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. I'm going to run a marathon every week. I'm going to do all these things. Like, just simmer down. You have a lifetime. Life is short, but it's also long. Like, do a SMART goal that is a stretch, not a break. See, really what I'm calling for here is margin. Margin is not something that happens by accident. It is something we need to be intentional about. And we can do that with these 5 simple practices of margin. So if you want to know what those are, watch this video right here. I know it'll really help you. Have a great day, and God bless you in your journey.